Hello, welcome back. This May we're celebrating 8 years back in Brazil. So I thought it would be nice to do a video talking a little bit about life in Brazil after England. So I lived in England for 12 years and my husband for 18. And we came back to Brazil 8 years ago because we wanted to. You know, we miss the weather. We really like the sun, like for instance now it's I'm actually filming this in April, so it's like mid-April. This is what we say, mid-April. Today is the 16th of April, so mid-April. So it's supposed to be autumn here in Porto Alegre where I live in South Brazil, and it's a very bright sunny day. It's not that cold, it's a little bit chilly outside, but it's not very windy, and it's just sunny, it's bright. The thing about England, in our opinion, okay, it's not a fact, well it is a fact actually, is that most days are very cloudy and dark. So you do get sunny days, but not many. And I think after living there for so long, we just got so tired of that, and we really wanted to be able to live in a place where we had more sunshine. So the cold is a problem. I don't like cold weather, but the sunshine was the main factor, even more than the cold per se. It was really more like the brightness, the sunshine. So we still love England. We love England. And I'm not saying that we're never going to live there again, because I don't know. I really don't know. We might, I love England and it's always going to feel like home to me. So it's like my heart is literally split in two. So it's like Brazil, England. There are two halves, and I love it there. So I'm sure we might want to spend some time there in the future, especially for the kids to get the chance to experience living there, since they speak English fluently. I think it's going to be amazing for them to live in a place where English is the language being spoken. But I'm so happy in Brazil, and I know I'm talking from a very privileged position. So my kids go to a private school in Brazil. I have health insurance, so I don't use the public health system. So it's a privileged position, definitely. So when I compare to life in England, I would not be able to afford a private school for my kids in the UK. It's so expensive. And even if you have private health insurance in the UK, you still have to kind of go through the public health system before you go to see a doctor that is insured. So it's all a bit tricky, So it's a very unfair comparison, because if I were to compare a private school, if I were to compare a private school from Brazil and England, I would be like, definitely one from England, so much better in terms of education. It's way better. You can't really, there's no doubt it is better. But I wouldn't be able to afford that. So unfortunately, I have to compare a private school in Brazil to a public school in England. And then generally they're not very good. So you're going to find some good public schools in England. You might still find a good one depending on where you live, but you have to look really hard, So my kids go to a private school in Brazil, and that's great. But something I really love about Brazil is how the teachers are with students. So I take my kids to school and I see the teachers hugging my children like every day, so there's a lot of affection going on between teachers and small kids, and I find that great. I think that's really, really nice. So in comparison to England, again, I would say Brazil's better. Something else that is so important, why is life in Brazil so good for us? Because I live in a bubble. Basically, I live in a gated complex of houses. So where I live, there are lots of houses and there's a gate at the front. So it's gated, it's closed. And I've got a lot of space for my kids to you know, play ball games and ride a bike, and there are lots of kids around, and you know, so I live in a bubble, really. I work from home. I don't have to be out and about all the time. To be out and about, this is an expression meaning to be out of the house, going places, different places all the time. I don't really have to do that. I work from home. So that's one of the reasons why, to us, life in Brazil is great. My husband works from home too, so, you know. And something else that you guys have got to remember. We chose to come back to Brazil. It was a choice. You know, I think when you have a choice, we could have stayed in England, definitely, but we chose to come back. And I think that makes it a lot easier, you know, which is kind of the same when people ask us, what, hold on, you left England for Brazil after so many years? Like, what were you thinking? Why did you come back? So many people ask this question. And I'm like, because we chose to, we had a choice. That's why you guys don't get, we had a choice. And same goes for being here and moving out of Brazil. We have a choice. So if we're not, all of a sudden, if we're no longer happy here, we can choose to leave. We can, you know, we have the means to do that. So that changes everything. You know, a lot of people want to leave Brazil, but that's because, and they're desperate to leave. A lot of them is because they can't. So they don't have a visa, or they don't have like a double nationality that they could use to live in Europe or any other place. So this becomes like a dream, like something they're so excited to be able to do. But to us, we can do that. We could pack our bags and leave tomorrow if we wanted to, but we don't want to. So it makes things very different for us. And I do really love the weather here. I love to see my kids growing up here and having English at the same time. So they're growing up here with my culture and my husband's culture. We're both Brazilians. And at the same time, they speak English really well. So I think that's like the best of both worlds. It's another expression. It's like the best of everything, you know, like living in Brazil and having English. So yeah, so I like life in Brazil. I'm happy in Brazil. I'm not from Porto Alegre where I live. I'm actually from São Paulo. But I like Porto Alegre because you've got everything you need from a big city, but you're still in a kind of smallish place. Small-ish, like kind of small place in comparison to, say, São Paulo, for example. Yeah, so this is it. I think this has been a nice chat and has given you some perspective about what I do, about my life. And I hope it's been fun listening and practicing or listening with this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or anything you want to say. Tell me where you live. Are you in Brazil or are you abroad? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you all next week, that's for sure. Take care. Bye.